What is up, everyone? I'm Scratch. Welcome to the channel and welcome to another Etheria restart video. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. In today's video, guys, I want to talk about the best R units in the game. There are some very powerful R units that a lot of people are sleeping on, and I would strongly recommend you to build them. They're much easier to get, much easier to skill up, and they are absolutely insane for content, for progression, for even speed runs. Before we get into that, I just want to give a massive shout out to Etheria Restart for sponsoring the video. And by the way, guys, I am hosting a giveaway on the channel. Once we're gonna reach 1000 subscribers, I will be giving away over 30 Apex summons. All you gotta do is be a subscriber, drop a comment, let me know which one is your most favorite unit in the game or your most wanted unit in the game. But without further ado, let's quickly talk about some R units. So they do have benefits, okay? They are much easier to skill up. Getting the rare lattice is much easier, more accessible. You can purchase tons of them from different areas, different exchange shops. And some of these R units, even though we do not have many in the game, are absolutely insane, okay? One thing that I do want to mention, I would love if the devs would bring in more R units and more SR units. I feel like it's great bringing in SSRs, but it just creates a lot of strategies with good R units if we have them available, right? So that's why it would be nice for them to bring more in the game. Let's start with my most favorite R unit, a unit that I'm using in quite a lot of content. Probably a lot of you guys are doing it too, and that is Kachi the Goat. Okay, Kachi. Three or four different variations of this unit, and my god, most of them are nuts. But this is Red Kachi, R unit, crazy good, because with this skill he will have a chance to stun and bring in turn-meter manipulation, which will enable your team to jump in front of the enemies. Can be used in PvE, heck, can even be used in PvP if you want to, just to troll for fun, because he can get the job done, okay? That turn-meter manipulation is absolutely massive. This skill energizes an ally with energy supplements, granting 100% turn-meter. That means that your ally is instantly going to take a turn as soon as this skill is being used. It will give the ally increased attack, and it will reduce the cooldowns of all of the enemy skills by 1 turn. Yeah, it's not fully decrease the cooldowns or anything like that, but it's still very powerful because it will help that character to rotate its skills much faster and take more turns. And the first skill has a chance to decrease the turn meter by 30% on an enemy. So a lot of turn meter manipulation. And when we're talking about builds, you want to get as much accuracy on him and as much speed as possible. Where can you use this character? Well, in a lot of freaking content. Heck, if I'm not mistaken, I think I've even seen teams for the Terror Maton with this character. But let's actually quickly check that out. So if we're going at recent clears, maybe I haven't. No, probably not. I've just saw the other Kachi. But that's fine. You can definitely use this unit in different content. For example, if you're going at the Green Pursuit, can be good even in the Nikonana if you want to stun the enemies. Can be good in Rango Kutsu, can be good in Shadow Flame Hoyan. In fact, I am using him in my team in Rango Kutsu, and he is an absolute freaking monster, okay? I'm not even kidding you guys. Look at that. This is literally my team. This is exactly my team. Probably not this one on the list right here because it's just showing the usage and auto battles, win rate, and all that stuff. But this is the exact same team I'm running, and Kachi is absolutely insane. This, by the way, is the hardest freaking dungeon in the entire game. He's the toughest boss. He's literally making the other bosses look like water guns, pistols, okay? It's just crazy how powerful the boss is. And he is actually, in my opinion, at least to my team, he is the answer to it, okay? In fact, I'm quickly going to show you a run with my team, just so you see how effective he is in here. So let me just quickly load the preset, so use it. I am running a codex on him, just for whoever is curious. And just check it out. It's just stunning the side minions, the thermometer manipulation, which will enable my characters to rotate faster. Look at that. You see, we drop them. We got the stun on them. We have the damage dealer going in, pushing in the damage. Bang. Beautiful. Hopefully, this is not going to be one of the failure runs. But I got to say, this team tends to win 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. Heck, I've had multiple times 10 out of 10, which is like, wow, you know, is really, really impressive because normally it's pretty hard to achieve that. So we had a reset with Lily. Right now is all about Kachi resetting my Lilium. Okay, and you're going to see that in a second. So right now, bang, instantly takes a turn. Bang, has the third skill available again. I've seen comments when I've made a guide on this team. Scratch, how is your Lilium using the S3 so often? Well, it's because of Lily and freaking Kachi that is so damn powerful. Honestly, I cannot recommend you more to build that unit. It's the most goated character. I do need to farm some of this freaking XP so I can get my Batsby up and running. I will be doing a guide on that character without Lattice. But if we're going to move on to the next unit, Kachi, the creme de la creme, guys. It's nice to see that we have good R units, though. I think I've made a top 5 R units at the very beginning when they launched the game. He was on my list as a very powerful character. Then, let's quickly talk about number 41. Why is she good? She's actually being used for speedruns in the Terror Maton. I am not personally using her, okay? But she can be really, really good. The downside for PvP is that her base speed is pretty low, so I would not recommend you to build her for PvP as a turn meter booster. But the main benefit is that she gives you the increased attack and gives all allies 25% turn meter. Some of you guys will be like, Scratch, why would I need that when we actually have other units that can do it, right? So if we're quickly going to have a look, you have Chiaki, the Echo, doing the same job. Increase attack and turn meter, but it's only 20% turn meter, and it's much harder to skill her up. While a rare character is much easier to skill up. She's going to bring you some healing as well, and this will inflict wound on the enemy. Healing reduction. So if we're quickly going to have a look at one of the teams that is being used in the Terror Maton, is one of the fastest teams, if I'm not mistaken, or close to being one of the fastest. So you go at clear times. And yeah, I knew that I've seen Kachi in this team as well, man, in the Terror Maton. I knew it, but I clicked on the wrong thing. So Kachi is being used in the Terror Maton too. I haven't confused it with the other Kachi. So this is the rare Kachi. But look at this one. 19 seconds. So basically double DPS. And the reason why she's better than Kachi the Echo is because she gives more turn meter, which means that your damage dealers will have the potential to move in front of the boss before it takes a turn, or even the tentacle before it hits one of your allies. Or even if it hits one of your allies, the boss won't get a turn because Deering and Lilium will put the boss to sleep. But it's all about her pushing that freaking turn meter, giving that increased attack to Deering, because Lilium doesn't need it. She already has it. But she's very, very good for these things. I do need to build mine as well. I haven't built her yet. And Lattice only in this skill. You only need literally 3 of them to get a turn meter to 25%. And the speed on the other characters, you see, is barely over 200. Barely over 200. And that 25% turn meter will enable them to move in front. I'm curious to see if we see any recent clears with them running the boss. No, we don't have one. But mainly she can be used in here, and of course she can be used for other content as well. Then, moving on to the next R unit that I would highly recommend you to build, guys. Probably on the priority list, he's more important than number 41, and that is Vice. Now, Vice is a character that I completely ignored. Guilty as charged, I will admit it. But Vice is huge. I think he can be used in just so much content. There are teams with him for Rango Kutsum. They are slower, but they get the job done. Before, when Ikonana used to be more busted, he was very, very important for that. Now, it's easier to farm Nikonana, so you don't necessarily need Vice. But if you're looking at a team for Rango Kutsu, Vice is going to be amazing. And other bosses as well, right? Like, he's going to be very, very effective. And his light affinity too. So basically, he's gonna taunt with this skill. Most bosses can be taunted, right? You cannot land any other crowd control debuffs on them except taunt. But he has this freaking passive. Each time Vice successfully inflicts a debuff on an enemy, he heals himself for 25% of his max HP and purifies a debuff. With full HP, he heals the ally with the lowest HP percentage. He will generate so much healing, guys. He debuffs with this skill as well. Decrease attack. Set the thermometer back by 30% too. Really, really good overall, because this is an AoE attack. These are R units that are literally, I wouldn't say necessarily SSR in disguise, but considering how effective they are and how important they are to basically glue some of those teams together that are farming the super endgame content, yeah, you can argue it and say they are SSR units in disguise in terms of skill sets, but in terms of stats, they're not, right? Because that's one of the main downside with these characters. But really, really powerful. You don't want to get accuracy on him. On number 41, you don't need that accuracy. But on Vice, on Kachi, you need to get the accuracy. And let me just quickly see if we can find some teams with him. So if we go at Rangokutsu, I'm pretty sure that we might be able to find something in here. So not at clear time, but at recent clear, somebody must be using it. Somebody must be using it. There you go. Check this out. It's a 2 minutes run with Deering, Linglu. We have Kloss and we have Vice. Another one with Vice right here. So this is basically like the build. You want to have Bramble set on him because that's going to be massive. I actually forgot to mention that. So accuracy, some speed, a Bramble set next to the Swift, and get the job done. Shell-wise, it's not necessarily important to get the Jackal Guard on, but that gets the job done too, so why not? But look how many teams there are, you see? Most of the recent clears are with Vice in the team, because he's so freaking goated versus this insane boss, guys. So definitely do not sleep on those units. If we're gonna head on to the archive again, there are a few different ones that are good, right? I don't think they are a necessity. Like Ashu, for example, can be good as a crowd control character versus Doki Doki on the waves, right? You need to basically crowd control the enemies to deactivate their passives, the damage reduction, and it can work pretty damn nice versus that. But that's only if you do not have other units, okay? And because you're getting, anyway, Kazuya for free from a chest, if I remember it correctly, you can select her. Investing into him is not something that I would necessarily recommend you, unless you want to have some fun with rare units. But he's a very good one. Definitely don't sleep on him. And we have as well Sibyl, which can do pretty good damage. You could potentially run her in Aurora as a damage dealer, right? She's the right affinity. She can bring defense down. She has very good damage, increased speed. Why not, right? But that, once again, is just in case if you do not have a Rosa, a Siada, you don't have Lilium, you don't have Batsby, which is absolutely demolishing the boss. That's when I would consider investing in her. But the other three, go ahead, okay? Literally goated. Kachi, by far being the best, and Vice, and then number 41. That was all for this video, guys. I just literally wanted to make you aware of how powerful they are and how important they are for the endgame content. If you enjoy the videos, do me a favor, smash a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you all in the next one. Big shout out to Etheria Restart for sponsoring the video. Peace.